of each other. Okay, these are factors. And here, that's an instance of a multiplication. Here, because of the addition, we have an addition taking place. That's an addition. Here, this is a multiplication. Okay, so if I want to get B or C separately from itself, if I want to remove it from C from B or B from C, you're going to have to do that by multiplication or division. We simply say multiplication though. So to get rid of, if I want to move BC to the other side of the equation, if I want to, let's say I want to solve find B. Okay, let's say find B. Well, let's find D first. If I say find D, that's easy. That's A minus BC is D, or D is A minus BC. So D has been found. So here D is found. So let's say we want to find B. Let's find what B is. Find B. Given the formula. So I have to remove everything but B. So first we have to get rid of D. I have to subtract D from both sides of the equation. Like so. Okay? And then you get A minus D equals BC. Now we still have to solve for B. So now, working from here, we're going to multiply both sides of the equation by 1 over C. Okay? Which is the reciprocal of C. Okay, so A minus D times 1 over C equals BC times 1 over C, and then that gives us A minus D over C equals B, or B equals A minus D over C. So now we found B. Now we want to find C. So we're going to start here. We're going to get rid of the other additive first before we can work here. Okay. First we got to subtract D from both sides of the equation. It's going to give us A minus D equals BC. Now we're going to multiply both sides of the equation by 1 over B, which is the reciprocal of B. Meaning that's, we'll write that like this. The reciprocal of B, we say is 1 over B. That's the reciprocal. Here, A minus D multiplied by 1 over B equals BC multiply by 1 over b, and that gives us a minus d over b equals c, or c equals a minus d over b. So now we found c. Now here, if I subtract a from both sides, if given this part, if I subtract a from both sides, you get a minus a equals bc plus d minus a. You get 0 equals bc plus d minus a. Now here we just set this equation equal to 0. And then if you work from the other direction, if you bring everything on the right side of the equation to the left, you're going to subtract both of those. That's going to get a minus bc minus d equals 0. Now that's setting the equations equal to 0. Now to set the equations equal to 1, since a is, remember I showed you before, if a equals a, then a over a is 1, right? Okay. Or if a equals b, or we'll say z. If a equals z, then a over z is 1. If those two are equal. So here, remember, so a over bc plus d is equal to 1. And bc plus d over a is equal to 1. Assuming those are equal. Now, to practice for yourself, for a self-practice, go to see if everything I just showed you in this segment of the video, starting from when I showed you a plus b, plug in numbers for all the values each time you're given a formula. Like here, plug in numbers on this side. Let's say that b is 2. C is 3 and D is 4. So that'll be 2 times 3 equals 6 plus 4 equals 10. So A would have to be 10. Try those numbers and then practice with them and see if each one is true. Okay? For each one of these arrangements, go and substitute the numbers into each one of the arrangements and see if it's true. This is showing you how to rearrange formulas, basic algebraic formulas, through simple addition. This is basic addition. All right, now we're going to do some word problems.